I am on this. What is going on, everyone? My name is Damien, also known as QB. How's everyone going today? If you guys don't know by now, I'm doing a series. I'll go over and review teams last season, their off season, and what to expect from come next season, which starts in literally 2 days. If you guys are looking for your team, maybe look at my previous videos. Maybe I've already done them. But obviously right now today we're doing the New York Knicks. So as always, if you're new around here, like and subscribe, turn on post notifications so you don't miss an upload. I'm trying to upload daily, or at least once or twice a day for as long as I can. I'm really on this grind. But yeah, I appreciate the love and support. Let's get straight into today's video. The New York Knicks had such an amazing turnaround season. They started the season pretty much with the same roster they had the year prior, and then they'd go on and play about a quarter of the season, and then they figured out they finally needed themselves a wing. Therefore, they're going to pick up OG Anunoby from the Toronto Raptors, which involved the trade, which included RJ Barrett and Manuel Quickley, and they got back him, Precious Achiuwa, and a couple of second-round picks. And my bad also, the Raptors received the first pick with that draft as well, or with that trade, should I say. This move was going to absolutely work dividends for the New York Knicks because it was just a perfect fit. They needed a good on-ball defender and someone who's strictly a 3-and-D player, and that's OG Anunoby's definition. OG Anunoby would come in instantly, and in their first 13 games of OG Anunoby on the team, the Knicks would have been 10 of them. They were on an absolute tear come the All-Star break. And this little bit of help was much needed for the New York Knicks, considering how stacked the East is actually getting over the last 2 years or so. But unfortunately, they'll lose their two big dogs, the two big starting big men in Mitchell Robinson and Julius Randle. They'll both be out for the rest of the season with injury. And it's just such a shame because who knows what this team's ceiling actually could have been if those two played throughout the whole season, at the end of the season, and especially in the playoffs where they needed them the most. A little controversy come to All-Star weekend because Jalen Brunson was not named an All-Star starter when he was clearly playing better than Damian Lillard. Me personally, I didn't have a massive problem with it because Damian Lillard was still hooping, but not as much as Jalen Brunson was. He definitely deserved that spot over him. And me personally, if I'm Jalen Brunson, I'm not worrying too much about being an All-Star starter. It doesn't go on your resume. The fact that you're an All-Star, that's just good enough, right? Like, no one really gives a shit about All-Star game anyways. As we head towards the end of the 2023-24 regular season, Jalen Brunson would finish top 10 in NBA MVP voting. And as he should, he had a fantastic run. And everyone was saying that the Knicks overpaid him, and now that just looks silly. He's really bought into what Tom Thibodeau is trying to do, and he's just really executed all his plans to perfection. Even though Tom got him playing a full game sometime, only resting for like 30 seconds, but we'll get into that later on in the video. So we get to the playoffs. The New York Knicks will be matched up against the Philadelphia 76ers in the first round, and oh boy, that was an absolute movie. This is where we'll see Tom Thibodeau cut down the roster to just 8 rotational players. And 3 of those 8 players would consistently play 40 minutes after 40 minutes every single night, 19 and nights out, 40 plus minutes, yes. The same guys would be mostly all the time. Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, and OG Anunoby for good reasoning. Jalen Brunson because obviously you guys know what Jalen Brunson does. Everyone needs him on the floor for as long as you can. OG Anunoby obviously for the 3-and-D type of player that you need in the playoff series, like I was explaining earlier. And obviously you have Josh Hart as well, who's probably one of the best rebounding guards I've ever seen in my life. We'd get to game 2 of this series, and that's when we'll know Tom Thibodeau was not messing around. He played Josh Hart the whole entire game, yes, 48 minutes. And you could say Jalen Brunson got somewhat of a rest because he only played 38 minutes. But saying 38 minutes is a rest is absolutely crazy. I guess that's what you sign up for when your head coach is Tom Thibodeau, right? I was pretty surprised in game 2 how he didn't see any Alec Burks or Precious Achiuwa. Mitchell Robinson played 17 minutes and had an awful game, only 1 point and 4 rebounds. He was just not feeling it in the matchup against Joel Embiid. But Isaiah Hartenstein was. This is when he truly started to come out and shine for the Knicks in the playoffs. We'd get to game 6 of this series, and this is when Tom Thibodeau would go absolutely crazy and only play 7 players. And yes, 4 out of those 7 players played 40 plus minutes. This man is unreal. DiVincenzo didn't miss a single second. He played the whole entire 48 minutes. Jalen Brunson, OG Anunoby, and Josh Hart all got a combined 4 minutes rest together. That's just unbelievable. I still can't get over that to this day. Brunson will have an outstanding 41 points and 12 assists game to finally close out the 76ers. The series for the Knicks that just couldn't hurry up and end soon enough. Tom Thibodeau would get the most out of his players by paying them the maximum minutes, but at what cost? At the start of the second round, Boban Bogdanovic would actually be ruled out for the rest of the playoffs with an injury. He was one of the guys that Tom Thibodeau was playing like maybe once or twice every couple of games, so now that limited his numbers even more, which you know exactly what that means. And we'll go back to the 8-game rotation for the second game versus the Indiana Pacers, and the Tom Thibodeau would play his whole starting 5 40 plus minutes, with pretty much the guys coming off the bench like Precious Achiuwa and Miles McBride only about 5 to 10 minutes all per game. Or should I say just for that game, but this is just unreal how much he was running his guys to the ground. Josh Hart would still give it all. He'll play all 48 minutes once again and have a 20-20 game as a guard, which is just unbelievable to this day. The Knicks were just doing all types of different shit last season. But unfortunately, just hours before Game 3 against the Indiana Pacers, OG Anunoby would be ruled out with a hamstring strain, which was just terrible news since OG Anunoby is a major part of the Knicks system and what they were trying to do in the playoffs. Tom Thibodeau actually ended up running an 8-man rotation that game, but unfortunately it wasn't enough to get the dub, as Jalen Brunson, Donte DiVincenzo, and Josh Hart still played 40+ minutes all. In Game 4, it was just an absolute blowout by the Indiana Pacers. So Tom Thibodeau actually didn't play his guys that much. Jalen Brunson played the most, and he only played 32 minutes, which is just, there's not a lot for Tom Thibodeau, let's say, because it was a 30-40 point blowout. It just felt like the Indiana Pacers were really onto something, exploiting the Knicks defense without OG Anunoby present. Then after getting blown out back-to-back games by the Indiana Pacers, the Knicks would come out and return the favourite in Game 5, so they'll take control of the series 3-2, but it took a massive effort from Jalen Brunson with 44 points and 7 assists. It was reported after Game 6, Josh Hart would also have a hurt hamstring, so this would be the entire injury list for the New York Knicks. Come Game 6 and 7, the two more crucial games to get into the conference finals against the Boston Celtics, Julius Randle, Boban Bogdanovic, OG Anunoby, Richard Robinson, and now Josh Hart had a strain in his hamstring. I wasn't sure if they classified it as a strain because he ended up continuing playing, but he was not himself. I don't know if it was the fact that Tom Thibodeau was just completely running his guys down to the point where they just end up getting slowly hurt, and then Jalen Brunson also ended up getting injured. But they're just lucky they got absolute warriors that can fight and play through that injury, which is just not safe at all. So it'll be interesting to see what Tom Thibodeau does now, considering now he's got Mikal Bridges and Karl Anthony Towns on the roster. And yes, I'm bringing up that because, matter of fact, the New York Knicks would go out in 7 games against the Indiana Pacers. So come the offseason, they said it was time to make some moves, and they made a splash early for trading for Mikal Bridges, for Shake Milton, Boban Bogdanovic, and 5 first-round picks, which is just unbelievable because, in my opinion, those picks in the future are going to come back to bite them in the ass, but they're in win-now mode clearly. They weren't done making moves yet because they were 2 of the most biggest blockbuster trades in the offseason. And they're going to trade for Karl Anthony Towns, exchange for Julius Randle, Donte DiVincenzo, and a first-round unprotected first-round pick in 2029, which is probably not even going to be that good because the Knicks would probably still be good then. Mikal Bridges is just literally like a shooting guard version of OG Anunoby. I'm going to show you guys this clip of Mikal Bridges in the preseason, and New York Knicks fans, get in the comments right now and tell me if this is roaring new or not.
He is now over to Mikal Bridges. Bridges got the separation, step back jumper on the run, thought about the 3, looking for Tyler Kolek, the rookie. He finds Bridges.
You guys get the gist of it, I'm pretty sure. Mikal Bridges actually decided to change his jump shot, and that does not look pretty whatsoever. Matter of fact, in his 18 threes he shot in the preseason, that man only made 2 the entire preseason. This is the definition of it's not broke, don't fix it. This man was almost dead on spot on a 40% 3-point shooter. Pause, but he had a lovely stroke, like a nice shooting stroke. And there was just no need in my eyes for him to change it, but now he's struggling. So Knicks fans, is that a concern for you? Me personally, I think they're still going to be fine regardless. But now that we're off that topic, we're getting to what's going to be their starting 5. Especially since Donte DiVincenzo isn't going to be there anymore. So I'm leaning more towards a Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart maybe, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby. Like, it's hard to fit. You got all these guys. So my projected top 5 is going to be Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Karl Anthony Towns, and Mitch Robinson when he's healthy. But obviously before Mitch Robinson comes back, they'll probably either have to start Sims, or they can try to fit Josh Hart into the starting lineup and push Karl Anthony Towns down to the center position, which I'm pretty sure he'll be okay to do. Karl Anthony Towns' defense has always been a massive concern for me, considering how much he got in foul trouble in last year's playoffs and literally the most crucial points of the whole entire season. But he does add spacing to this Knicks team so that they can easily run a 5-out offense if they wanted to. Everyone is absolutely in that starting lineup is knockdown shooters, beside from Mitchell Robinson, but other than that, he won't be back to about January, February, Shams actually reported. This Knicks ceiling is actually very, very high. They've gone all in. The ownership has full on board an idea of trying to win a championship. because they've disappointed their fans enough and they've figured now it's go time pretty much. In my opinion, they actually match up against every single team very well, even the Boston Celtics, but even then, they're still favourites to go back-to-back for a reason because they're just simply unstoppable. Maybe this New York Knicks team will be the kryptonite, but honestly, we're going to have to wait and see. I'm still projecting them to finish second in the Eastern Conference. Or that could be like a regular season showouts and just completely dominate and try to go for a high win record. Me personally, I hope I don't see the same stuff from Tom Thibodeau in the playoffs, running his guys down because it clearly cost him at the end. But yeah, my prediction for this team is they're going to finish second in the Eastern Conference and they're going to have a really deep playoff run, talking at least the Eastern Conference Finals, depending who they run into. But without further ado, I hope you guys all enjoyed that video. It's a bit of a longer one tonight, so I appreciate you guys listening to me yap. Comment the splash emoji down below if you guys made it all the way to the end. This has been your boy QB, and I'll see y'all in the very next one, which will be very soon. Peace.